Hey, what's up, everybody? Video 44 coming at you with another video. What a war that was. 113-109 in overtime. The Lakers do win the game against the New York Knicks, and they're officiating. And it was rough in the first half. If you want any commentary on that, check out my halftime video. I don't really have anything to say about the officials. They were corrupt tonight. That's about it. It was a war, man. It was a war. The game should have been over in regulation, but we made some mistakes. Took a bad three-point shot here and there. They left the Knicks opportunity to win the game. Jalen Brunson was phenomenal, but he rolled his ankle really bad. So prayers out to Jalen Brunson, who rolled his ankle in overtime, man, on a freak play. It was an ugly roll too, very serious one. But he came in there, hit his free throws, and in the final minute could not do what it is that he does best. And it was very much for the betterment for our team. That's for damn sure, because he was kicking our tail. 39 points, 10 assists, 4 rebounds for him on 13 of 26 shooting, 12 of 13 from the free throw line, 1 of 7 from behind the arc. He got to the line. I was not happy about that. Josh Hart, happy birthday, Josh Hart. 18 points, 4 steals, 2 assists, and 10 rebounds. Played hard, played tough, as usual against the Lakers. Been hurt for all these other games, been cold all these other games, but of course he was ready for us. Irritating, but yeah, that's what it was. Happy birthday, Josh Hart. Happy birthday, Shaquille O'Neal, by the way. Karl Anthony Towns, 3 of 13 from the field, 1 of 6 from behind the arc, 14 rebounds, 3 of them offensive, 12 points, 1 steal, 1 assist. Cold night for Karl. Happy it happened. OG Anunoby, 4 of 11 from behind the arc, 7 of 18 from the field, 20 points, 1 assist, 4 rebounds, and a big missed free throw after a fantastic and 1 in overtime. He just didn't make the free throw, and I'm happy he didn't. Mikal Bridges, 3 of 6 from the field, 6 points, 3 steals, 3 assists, and 3 boards. Quiet night for him, but he played a lot of minutes. 3 steals, I'm sure, were huge for his team. Milton Robinson, 13 minutes of play, 6 points, 4 assists. Campaign, 1 of 6 from the 3 points, 1 assist, 2 rebounds. Miles McBride, 0 for 4 from the 3, 0 for 6 from behind the arc, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, 1 block. And Landry Shamet hit 2 shots and got himself 5 points. Okay, that's the opponent who lost. The Lakers, who won the game, had some pretty big possessions from everybody, man. Everybody who chipped in had to fight very, very hard to win this game. I was worried about incorporating Austin Reeves back into the game. He was pretty cold. He did help us at times, but 2 of 13 from the field, 1 of 7 from behind the arc. This was what I was worried about. 8 points, 6 rebounds. As much of this as I've watched in my life, I can tell you, man, when a guy's coming back from injury and he has a substantial role and you got to equate him into a situation that's still forming, it's usually a recipe for failure. And I had a feeling. I'd seen enough of this in my life to know that this was kind of what to be expected. But, man, did he hurt us in a lot of areas shooting the ball. 2 of 13, bro. I mean, my God, bro. I know you coming back from injury, and I blame coach for that to a degree, because if a guy's fresh off injury, you don't want to have him on the floor as cold as Austin Reeves was. And, he did help us. Like I said, he helped us in some key areas. He got 6 boards, and boards were huge. And his presence out there definitely is good. Him working himself back into the equation is necessary. But, my God, man. A lot of what went wrong in that first half was us trying to force him the ball, them crowding him out, and those possessions going to waste, them connecting on those possessions in transition. It was a lot of that. So, yeah, that wasn't great. Dorian Finney-Smith, 1 of 5 from the field, 0 of 3 from behind the arc. Normally, we don't care that Dorian doesn't make shots, but tonight we really needed him to. Some of the problem that we had was him not making shots. It was rough. 2 points, 1 steal, 5 rebounds. And 5 rebounds were huge. The steal was huge. But we really needed shot making to come back around. In 40 minutes of play, I need some shot making there from him. Jackson Hayes, 3 of 5 from the field, 8 points, 2 blocks, 3 assists, 5 rebounds. It's so much effort. He did foul out in overtime, but it was so much effort. 2 blocks there. Jackson Hayes has been playing great. His rim protection has grown leaps and bounds since trading away Anthony Davis and forcing him into that starting lineup. He has improved a lot as a rim protector, man, and I feel a lot more trust toward him in that way than I ever dreamed I would. He is just a much better shot blocker these days. So he gets all the credit in the world for how much he helped our team tonight. The stats do not tell the story there. I'm saving the best for last in this game. Vanderbilt, 2 points, 2 steals, 5 rebounds, 1 of 3 from the field, 0 of 1 from behind the arc. The stats don't tell the story with Vando. Vando was everywhere all the time. The 2 steals were all over the place. The 5 rebounds helped. As you can see, guys chipped in the boards. Nobody really dominated the boards that much, but everybody got their 5, their 4 off. And he was very, very impactful throughout the whole night, going for boards. Even if he didn't get them, he was creating problems for the other team. And just tremendous energy in 17 minutes of play. You would think he was out there for 40 minutes tonight, the way he played. Trey Jemison, 7 points, 4 rebounds. I thought he was pretty good, 3 or 4 from the field. He was putting some tough spots. He made it work a lot of times too, you know, and I like the screens that he sets. He's just a tough player, man. We haven't lost with him in the lineup, believe it or not. We have not lost with him in the lineup. And I don't think that's a coincidence. A lot of what he brings to the table is just what you need off the bench. A strong person, set screens, create problems for other teams. Be an enforcer out there, be hard to deal with, wear people down. He's exactly what the doctor ordered for us at that position. I'm very pleased with Trey Jemison. In fact, more than I thought I would be. Dalton Connect, nice game. 4 of 8 from the field, 3 of 7 from behind the arc. 11 points, 1 assist, 4 rebounds. The 4 boards were big. You know, if everybody that I'm calling out who had 5 and 4 boards, them were big boards. They had to fight hard for those rebounds. Each and every one of those individuals. And Dalton Connect was huge for us, man. He hit some shots down there that was really, really big, and I love that his confidence is coming back around. Gabe Vincent, 4 or 5 from the field, 4 or 4 from behind the arc. Every one of those threes were big. All of them. All 4 of his shots were huge, and I've been calling him in to hit some shots. He's been cold for the last 4 games or so. He could not have hit these shots and gotten hot at a better game, and he hit them. In overtime, he hit them down the stretch of regulation, a couple of them in the 4th quarter. Every one of those shots were massive. Absolutely massive. Those were some of the biggest clutch shots you'll see in the regular season from one player off a bench. He was phenomenal, man. This is what Miami was raving about 3 years ago. This is the person that they ultimately were talking about. He played good defense. Even though the stats don't tell you he recorded anything defensively, he was all over the place trying to guard people. And then when it was his number was called, every time we needed a big shot to cut the lead to 5, to tie the game up, to cut the lead from 9 to 6. I mean, he was just hitting threes, man. When you needed him, at the end of a shot clock type stuff, he was massive, absolutely massive. LeBron James, 11 of 23 from the field, 2 of 8 from behind the arc. 31 points, 1 block, 8 assists, and 12 rebounds. I love the overall production from the King tonight, man. And my problem is I nitpick. When he does one thing I hate, it's like the only thing I could think about. And that's one of them things that's going on tonight. That 3 that he shot at the 58-minute mark, at the end of regulation, we were up by 3. I think it was like maybe 11 or 12 seconds in the shot clock, and he hoisted some bad 3. It bricked. Jalen Brunson went in transition, laid the ball up, got an and 1, tied the game up. I really thought that was a losing play, man. And I love everything else LeBron did. Like I said, I'm saving the best for last. He's second to last in this conversation. But I don't think we play any overtime. I don't think Jalen Brunson rolls his ankle. I don't think any of those things happen if LeBron James just simply plays the clock better and looks for a better shot. Now, granted, the 2 threes that he ended up hitting were big. We could not have won this game without that corner 3 that he hit or the straightaway that he made. Not to mention the 12 boards, which are fantastic. The 8 assists were fantastic. Only 1 turnover, which is huge for us. When you consider him good for a bunch of turnovers. He only had 1 tonight. He had a block. He was all over the place. He was drawing fouls. He was physical. It was so much good. But the game should have ended. And since I hold him in such high regard, the only thing that I really remember was how angry I was at him for taking that bad 3-point shot. And that is something that is actually, in my mind, respect for LeBron James. Because I'm not impressed by anything that he does ever. I just expect for him to be perfect, and when he's not, I hold him to the standard of those who are. And I think that's the problem with being one of the GOATs. I think that's the problem with being in the MJ debate. We want you to be on the winning frequency all the time. We want you to understand the things that make it so that you lean into success. And when you're up by 3 with 50 seconds to go against a closer like Jalen Brunson, and you take a 3 like that, and it bricks and he gets a chance to tie the game up, it's like giving the ball back to a great quarterback. You know what I'm saying? That's what that is. It's equivalent to giving the ball back to a great quarterback in the closing seconds. You know he's going to win the game. You can't do anything stupid in those situations. You got to make sure you have the ball in your hands as the clock expires. You got to make sure that you utilize that whole shot clock and work for the best shot. And when you were at that point, 1 of 6 or 1 of 7, whatever it was at that point, from behind the arc, that's not a good shot. Especially when you got Luka Doncic affecting winning in the way that he is, Gabe Vincent hitting shots in the way that he is. You just got to play the percentages. So for me, I didn't like that. I didn't like that a lot. And this is what I talk about when it comes to LeBron James. I just feel like if he were on a winner's frequency or a killer's frequency, he would be too concerned about what goes wrong when you take shots like that. Because it's not like the shot clock's running out. Your clock is on your side. You got to work that clock down some more, or you got to work the ball around to get the best shot, so that you don't find yourself in the terrifying reality of Jalen Brunson getting a 3-point play off a layup, or finding yourself in overtime where injuries can occur. You're going to protect against that because you're on a winner's frequency. You see what I'm saying? And that's my only issue with LeBron James. He's able to do so many different things so much of the time that helps your team, but sometimes he's on a loser's frequency and he does loser stuff. And that shot, as I've pointed out since 6 years, I've been pointing out when he does this, that was a loser's shot. And it almost cost us his basketball game. And then there's Luka the Don, man. 9 of 23 from the field, 4 of 12 from behind the arc, 32 points, 5 turnovers, 4 steals, 12 assists, and 7 boards. I think he's on a winner's frequency. He didn't do everything right, though. He shot some bad threes, too. He did some things that weren't great, but he was a plus 16, 32 points. He hit the first 5 points in overtime. The 12 assists make other people better. 7 boards help out a lot. 4 steals. They say he don't play no defense. Does he not? Does he not? 4 steals tonight. 10 to 12 from the free throw line. We needed every one of those free throws, by the way. He has to shoot the free throw as well as he did tonight more often. He was the best player in the game tonight. I'm giving him the game ball because it was just clutch energy that he was providing us, overcoming mistakes of other people, and ultimately making sure that he solidified winning type stuff good portion of the time. We are a better team with him on the floor. We have a lead most of the time when he's on the floor, and the plus minus tells the story. Plus 16 led the Lakers in this winning effort. Like I said, LeBron James was great in a lot of areas. I'm nitpicking with LeBron because I hated that shot. Luka shot some stuff I did not like too. But at the end of the day, I'm giving the game ball to the guy who had the 12 assists and 32 points because I'm so very happy that he was able to cut this team down in overtime, get us a cushion early in the overtime, hit some big buckets, do some of the things that just edged out Bron a little bit, although those 5 turnovers look crazy, but they were crowding him out, things like that, etc. So for me, I'm just going to give the ball to Luka. I'm happy with Luka. I'm happy with Bron. Ecstatic with Gabe Vincent. I could have very easily gave the game ball to Gabe Vincent, knowing damn well we don't win this game without his shots. But the production that both my stars provided me just is a little too much for me to give the game ball to Gabe Vincent. But Gabe Vincent, I mean, my goodness, man. I'm talking about like clutch, winner's frequency. Gabe Vincent was on that tonight. So this was a war, man. This was a war that should have ended in regulation. You know what I'm saying? They really should have. And, I'm proud of my guys for playing so many minutes in this game. 44 for Bron, 40 for DFS, 34 for Jackson, 43 for Luka, 32 for Reeves coming off injury. Guys played a lot of minutes. Guys played hard. Vanderbilt played hard, even though he's still on minutes restriction. I think it balances out because Vanderbilt plays so hard, and he is coming back from such a serious injury that you probably do want him to continue to be on minutes restriction. Because if you keep him out there for 40 minutes, he's going to drive himself into another injury with the way that he plays. So I think this is sound, keeping him in minutes restriction. I think that should continue for a little while longer. I think it's a smart way to play it. Dalton Connect was big. We got a lot off our bench tonight. 12 points for Vincent, 11 points for Dalton. That's 7 threes between the two of them. That's huge, man. Love that production off of my bench. Trey Jemison, 7 points. Like I said, he played hard. It's just a breath of fresh air to have some of these guys in comparison to the roster that we had to start this season. It's a breath of fresh air to see so many different faces providing so many things that this unit we had to start the season just didn't provide. A certain confidence, a certain resilience, a certain toughness, physicality, defensive intensity. I just think I see so much more of that with this unit. And granted, Vanderbilt coming back from injury had a lot to do with that. Maybe he would have helped that unit if he were a part of it. But I'm not here to really even think too much about that. I'm just happy with what is here versus what was. And you got to take my hat off to Rob Pelinka for making the moves that he did to get this team the way it is. I think it would be a damn shame if we don't get Trey Jemison on this regular roster. Same thing with Jordan Goodwin, even though he's not available tonight. I think it would be a damn shame to not put those players on this roster. They're a big part of why we are an 8-game winning streak team right now in second place. So, yeah, man. I want to apologize to anybody who thinks I'm nitpicking LeBron James and pinning him against Luka or whatever. I sense that might be something that maybe someone thinks I'm trying to do. I'm not. I just hold LeBron at such a ridiculously high standard because he's been in this league since Luka was like 2 years old. And I need him to be on a winner's frequency in order for us to win a championship. He cannot not get it when it comes to things like this. It's so detrimental to our overall ceiling when he doesn't get it as it pertains to what I call being on a winner's frequency. Just protecting against certain things by having a sense of what can hurt you versus what cannot. We don't need to do any stick measuring contest, for lack of a worse term, right? We don't need to do that. We don't need to be the hero. When he shot that shot, the thing that came to mind was, he's trying to be Superman out here. I don't need you to be Superman, bro. I need you to just be protecting against what causes us to lose. And putting the ball in Jalen Brunson's hands because you want to shoot a damn 3 when you're already up by 3 with less than a minute to go is on a loser's frequency. Those are things that losers do that cost them games, bro. Winners don't do that. And so maybe I don't have the cachet as a non-basketball player to say that, but I'm telling you, I'm extremely protecting against what causes me losses. As I've watched 21 years of you-know-who. You understand what I'm saying? To be very respectful of who we're talking about, I've watched 21 years of somebody else who was very protecting against what cost me losses. And so I know what it feels like to protect against those type of things and what it looks like when a player of his caliber is fearful of losing it. And sometimes the very thing that you think can give you the ups can also put you in the ground, and you got to protect against being put in the ground. You understand what I'm saying? That's really what it comes down to. Don't usher us into losses with poor clock management and poor shot selection because you want to be the damn hero. You've already been the hero. You understand what I'm saying? You got to be secure in that and not need to be the hero. Not need to be the guy to hit the shot. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the difference between winning and losing. And we're trying to win. That's what I got to say, man. So that is what I took from this game. Of all the great things that happened, and boy, was it a physical game with referees cheating left and right. Hats off to the New York Knicks. They took us to the brink. I thought they were out hustling us for a good 40 minutes of this game. And this is something to consider when you, as the Los Angeles Lakers, the one way that we've been able to win these games over the last month or more is being physical and out hustling teams and being scrappy. The New York Knicks bring that very thing to the table. They have scrappy players that push you around, set screens, foul you. So when we go up against a team that has just as much of that as we do, it requires us to really go to the brink with them. Playing bully ball against a bunch of dogs, it's very difficult to do. And the Knicks have a bunch of dogs, and they're going to be tough to beat in the Eastern Conference. Got to pay attention to this Jalen Brunson injury. If he's going to be out for a couple weeks, could really hurt the Knicks. But assuming he's back 100% by the playoff time, they're going to be a tough out, man. For some of these more polished basketball teams, they're going to be a tough out. You know? But I will say this. That Karl Anthony Towns experiment, I don't like it. I don't like it. 3 of 13 on the road in a Laker game like this. 3 of 13, 1 of 6. If I'm a Knicks fan, I got a problem with that. I like the boards, but you're going up against LeBron James, of whom you're a whole foot taller than, and this is the production you give them after you playing horrible against them the last time they saw the Lakers. Winners frequency, baby. That is the name of the game. When we talk about these two basketball clubs, you got to be on a winner's frequency to get them over the hump. Jalen Brunson's on a winner's frequency. You know, OG Anunoby was on a winner's frequency tonight. You know what I'm saying? People who lean into the success of winning. Josh Hart was on a winner's frequency tonight. Karl Towns was not on a winner's frequency tonight. He rebounded the ball very well, but he was, you know, he was playing like he still played for one of them Timberwolves teams that was only getting 12 wins a season. Like, bad ingredient. Low-key, bad ingredient. Maybe a better ingredient than Julius, but not the, no. I would really want to see how the rest of the season goes with Karl. But if this is the type of crap that he does in the playoffs, I'm moving him in the offseason if I'm the Knicks. I am. He ain't going to be dragging this team down with that nonsense. So that's pretty much my point of view, man. I had a hard time with this game in the first half because the officiating made it difficult, but also the Knicks, they made it difficult as well. They played hard as hell, bro. They took playing hard all the way to the maximum when it comes to that. And you have to respect how difficult this game was to win, but you also more so have to respect the Los Angeles Lakers for finding a way to overcome them. When you're down by 10 going into the fourth quarter, you found a way to overcome them. I don't know that we win this game if Jalen Brunson stays on the floor. For all I know, he closes us out. He's one of the best at that. That ankle roll was unfortunate for his team and very fortunate for us. But you got to give credit to our guys, particularly guys like Gabe Vincent, Luka Doncic, LeBron James, Dalton Knecht, all of our guys, Jackson Hayes. They really scrapped with this team, man. Trey Jemison, Vanderbilt, they scrapped it. They played 48 minutes overtime of hard-nosed, physical, frustrating basketball, man. This is one of them games some old school people should be proud of. All y'all who want to see physicality, all y'all want to see players not play soft, this is a game that y'all should be proud of. BDL 44, I thank y'all for watching.